Today on two-time Tony Award winner Web Soup.
It's raining lawyers!
Don't urinate on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Two randy tortoises come out of their shells. And spine-shattering ne'er-do-wells take to the ground. Plus, art-making weirdos, fish-licking dogs, beer-chugging grannies, and the most fun you'll ever run screaming in mortal terror from. All right here on Web Soup!
Hey everybody, welcome to Web Soup. I am Chris Hardwick, your spectral ferryman across the worldwide river Styx. Now just give me one piece of silver and I will gladly escort you to the afterlife. Or to hilarious viral videos, whichever comes first. You know, if you ask me, there's only one way to start this show, and that's with something that we like to call
Firsties!
the impetuousness of youth. One moment you're rebelling against your parents by skateboarding, listening to punk music, or hosting a basic cable clip show. The next, you're seeing if you can fly and finding out what tree sap tastes like. Is that guy literally trying to turn his balls into Christmas tree ornaments? Also, flinging your helpless body 3 stories down into a tree is a fun way to while away your mid-20s, but it'll give you a bad case of pine corn taint. Pine corn? Is it trees where corn comes from? More pine corn, please! Bleed, bleed, bleed. Me stupid. The cicada, as you can see by this extremely close-up photo, is one of nature's most adorable creatures. Look at you. Oh, you melted my hand with your digestive enzymes. But it's not just a looker. The cicada is a noble beast whose young slumber underground for 17 long years, only to emerge so it can be shoved into some drunk guy's mouth. Remember that time when Dave was totally plastered and then we put a bug in his mouth and videotaped it? And then a few days later, Dave got that really bad stomach ache, and before we could get him to the hospital, his stomach split open and thousands of cicada larvae spilled out. You remember the look on Dave's mom's face at his funeral? Good times. Good times. Well, now it's time to hop on the Internet Express, where the dining car only serves Diet Coke and Mentos. Your ticket gets punched by a midget transvestite, and the first stop is Webcam Junction.
The internet has completely skewed my concept of self.
Kate Nana sounds like a mid-'80s sitcom, but in reality, it is a person's name. In fact, Miss Nana is a 19-year-old minister of the Church of the Heavenly Open Floodgates, or something, and her specialty, because it is really good to focus, guys, is invoking the love of Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, when she invokes JC's love, well, let's just say she invokes its brains out.
I'm so lovified right now. In Jesus' arms. Yabba. So I just pray, Shiki, Jesus, send down your holy flame of love. Lord, get everyone who's watching this video completely lovified in your arms, completely erect in your eyes. Shikiru bosondo koraba barakarakai.
Looks like someone found her G.O.D. spot. Do you think even Jesus would be like, take it down a notch? Freaking me out. Well, after committing mild blasphemy and insulting the faith of millions of people, there's really only one place to this show to go. Ballsville, USA! In between the coasts of this great land, there exists a magical place where lonely winds whip across miles of farmland, where people wear ironic t-shirts unironically, and where dudeskies put the potato gun to some good use by aiming it at their directly unsuspecting crotches. Pull!
3, 2, 1.
that it?
Is that it? No, wait. One of my balls is still in its natural solid state. Fire up that potato gun again. Let's see if we can make my testes sublimate, Broheim. Rollerblades. They teach kids to read. They vaccinate the sick. They build dams and waterways. Is there anything rollerblades can't do? Yeah. I mean, besides let you preserve your dignity and manhood?
Here we go.
Well, thank God he was at least wearing a helmet. I've never seen a guy take a shot to the cans doggy style like that before. Let's move on. Look, guys, if God had wanted us to hurt our balls, then he would have placed them on the outside of our bodies, dangling unprotected in a delicate chicken skin bag, and then put wheels on our feet. Pretty obvious. We'll be right back.
When Web Soup returns, now that's what I call bumpin' uglies. And later, leave him alone, he's making art.
Hi, I'm Chris Hardwick, and welcome back to Web Soup. Big-time advertisers are slick fantasy peddlers who cater to your every whim. But local advertisers are depressed, Willy Loman-esque failures screaming to the heavens for one last shred of dignity before they shuffle off this mortal coil, alone and forgotten. Which is why we can't stop giggling at them.
Please hold. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold.
Okay, guys, there are two things that you should know about attorney Barry Glazer. Number one, when he goes to Supercuts, he asks for the Haley Joel Osment. Number two, he can't stand insurance companies.
I am sick and tired of these insurance companies telling you what good neighbors they are and how you're in such good hands. If your car is totaled and you owe more than it's worth, they give you the lesser amount. Don't urinate on my leg and tell me it's raining. Insurance companies, we're going to court.
Barry Glazer, legal advocate for the injured, disabled, and urinated upon.
Barry Glazer, when you get urinated on, he gets urinated off. When would that ever be appropriate if just your shin is wet? You're like, well, I guess it's storming on my... There's a tiny shin storm right there on my leg. Oh, you're peeing on me. You know, moving on, animals aren't just entertaining when you're hunting them for sport, dressing them like people, or jamming them in your friends' orifices. Sometimes like you don't. Sometimes critters are fun all by their lonesome. In fact, some segment title cards even suggest that animals are nature's clowns. That title card would have been unironic in the 80s. Like, you nailed it. If there's anything I know about fire, it's that it's Bernie, and it's the only known way to keep Frankenstein away from villagers. Other than that, not much else is known about this mysterious form of matter called fire. But apparently, as you'll see in this next viral, it gives pit bulls the ability to fly.
This dog's retarded.
I don't know if that's appropriate. Actually, seems like a pretty well put together, skillful animal. I don't know whether... By the way, guys, the name of that dog is Reno, which is somewhat appropriate since the city of Reno smells exactly like singed dog balls. Yeah! Take that, city some of you live, work, and raise your children in. I'm an ass. Question. Have you ever seen a chubby cheetah, a pudgy panther, or a stupid fat-ass lion? The answer is no, you have not. You haven't seen any overweight felines in the wild because not sitting around some sad woman's apartment burns a lot of calories. Here's a plump domesticated kitty who eats his feelings to the point he can't even fit through the dog door. By the way, if you want to find on the internet, Google tight pussy hole. See, it's only when you see it played out in real life that you realize just how horribly depressing Garfield really is. Let's go on to some more animals. Did you know that tortoises can live to be 150 years old? Yeah. That means it... Did someone say yes? Get out! Only I tell people things. Well, that means it's possible that somewhere out in the wild there's a tortoise alive today who voted for Abraham Lincoln. But I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to tell you about the tortoise's true passion, getting it on. It's almost like he's trying to cast a spell over her head. Sleep. I want to make lots and lots of babies with you, 10% of which will survive to maturity. By the way, that's real funny, unless you live next door to those two.
Are you all right? Yeah. I'm sorry, this never happened. That's okay. Oh, it's just that I really like you. I like you too. Really? Again? Oh man, this has never happened. Well, maybe we can just sit here and cuddle. Okay. Oh!
Come on!
Oh! Wow, that downstairs neighbor sure is loud.
Coming up on Web Soup. Tastes great, less dignity. Plus, look, Ma, no feeling from the waist down.
Hi, I'm Chris Hardwick, and welcome back to Web Soup. If you've learned anything from this show, and I sincerely hope you haven't, is that there are some things that are simply too dangerous and stupid to attempt. However, if you do attempt them, be warned. We will not hesitate to laugh at your new cranial shunt and skin grafts. You're ruined. Now, the thing about motorcycles is that they're dangerous. Fortunately, a mini bike is only mini dangerous. Unfortunately, cliffs are dangerous no matter how much you try to sand their sharp edges up with your skull. He wasn't moving at the end there, was he? He ceased to move at the, Here's a cliff note. Don't! You know, up until now, the show's been pretty mainstream, but let's dip our toes into stranger, more disease-ridden waters with... I'm an artist, you proclaim. Oh yeah, I retort. Then can you paint a fat guy dressed like Neptune while wearing a suit and running on a treadmill? I didn't think so, Monette.
Okay, let's start. I'm ready. Let's go, dude. Hi, yeah, my name is John. I just want to know, like, what the are you doing? We're painting and exercising at the same time. What the paint and exercise at the same time? We're experimenting.
He keeps running, but the fat guy never gets any closer. It's a metaphor for something. I'd really rather not know what it is. Paintsercising. We tweeted that clip to all of you following @WebSoup on Twitter, and here's what you all had to type. @Rizrak wrote, Bob Ross just threw up in his grave. near a tiny little cloud. At Jalin tweeted, "Your painting antics, please, Jabba. Now bring me that slave girl." At Fripfropjer said, "I like his other shows better. Let's do Karate and Needlepoint, and let's defuse a bomb and Rita kids." Nice job, Twitter. You helped encourage honest reporting during the Iranian elections, and now allowed us to mock a fat guy on a public access show. Elderly people! They're not just for putting in homes and Cocoon sequels anymore. Thanks to modern medical breakthroughs, old human beings can now do all sorts of humiliating things in public before a government panel determines that it's time for them to die. And we'd like to make fun of them in a segment called A Senior Moment. Look, bros, I've been to a lot of keg socials in my days. They call them that, right? Socials? I noticed that the one thing they all have in common, besides a keg and me, is keg stands. Well, that's when a girl lets a bunch of potential date rapists hold her by the legs as she drinks beer that is flowing in the opposite direction of her self-esteem. But what I didn't know is that there is no age limit on who can perform a keg stand. Her bucket list was full of beer. And after she did that keg stand, or keg rascal, she gave each of those guys a birthday card with a $5 bill in it. We'll be right back.
When Web Soup returns, our Things You Can't Unsee segment finally jumps the shark. Plus, the skull-rattling, crowd-endangering greatest web video ever this week.
Hey, welcome back to Web Soup. I'm Chris Hardwick. You know that one friend of a friend who always emails you web links that you never open because you're pretty certain they contain something that will haunt you to the end of your days? Well, we have a whole segment like that guy. Okay, I'm going to get serious for a moment. We like to play around on this show a lot. Oh, why should you make a Doctor Who reference while I set up this nut injury video? But the time for games is over. Guys, this thing you can't unsee, look at me, is legitimately disgusting and disturbing. Frankly, I'm not even sure why we're showing it. God help me. Our next viral is a close-up of a gaping foot wound filled with maggots. Now, this is not, hang on, not one of our wacky metaphors. That is a literal description. I'm giving you fair warning. Get the kids out of the room. Pack your stuff. Move out of town. Cover up your eyes. You got 5 seconds. 5.
Let's go. Smile. Take the damn picture.
Oh, guys, we made the show poop its pants again. Mike, Jonah, your turn. I changed the show last time. Well, while we clean up the show's boom boom, please enjoy this palate cleanser free of charge. Adorable. You guys good? Don't sniff it. Now you'd think that 2 grown men carrying a giant soiled diaper would be the perfect way to end any show, and you'd be wrong. Let's bring this cruel charade to an end with the greatest web video ever this week. This video comes from the motorized rock climbing finals held every year in, I don't know, let's say the parking lot of the Louvre. Why not? What happens is this. A bunch of dudes get into these oversized dune buggy looking things, they race them up and down rock walls, and then throughout the competition, they try to stay conscious, with heart-stoppingly limited success. And each rock bucky comes equipped with a driver's side douchebag. Well, that is it for our television program. Thank you so much for wallowing in our filth. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We're at WebSoup. I'm going to fix my tongue. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.